Hey everybody, Diabetic Daddy 76 here. I am actually making a video because I've been receiving a couple of emails and now I'm starting to get a couple of YouTube comments from certain users that are saying that I'm not actually paleo in my diet. And what they're saying is not that I'm not following paleo correctly. They're saying that all the meat that I eat is store-bought and that people who are doing paleo diet don't actually do the paleo diet because they're eating domesticated animals. Well, I'm here to debunk these myths. So for my vegan friends out there who think that they know exactly what I'm doing, I am here to tell you, you might find you're wrong. First, I'm just going to go over where I get my meat from. 90% of the meat that I consume. We're in my garage, and these hangers up here are called gambrels. And what I use these gambrels for are deer carcasses and elk carcasses. They're mounted to beams in the ceiling. I've got them on a pulley system each, and they hold roughly 400 pounds. Up to date, they've held up to 400 pounds without any problem. I got obviously a lot of fishing gear, and I have a lot of bow hunting gear, and I wouldn't say I've got a lot of guns, but I've got a fair amount of rifles and pistols in my safes. Here are the tools that I use in order to prepare the food that I eat on a regular basis. What you got here is a really good ergonomic meat hook. Very important. It helps you avoid cutting your fingers when you're pulling the meat off the carcass. I got my meat cleaver. I got my fillet knife. I got my deboning knife. I've got my knife sharpener. This is my butcher kit. And what I do is when I hunt an animal, I bring it here. I hang it on the gambrels and I do process the meat like a butcher. In my freezer here, I'm going to show you what I eat on a regular basis. There's going to be food in there that the rest of my family eats. I'm the only one who does a paleo diet. So for all of you other people out there are going to be just jumping and saying, oh, Paleolithic man didn't eat pizza. Duh. Now, I want to point out that a lot of this meat in here I processed, that I actually hunted and harvested. I've got a lot of these awesome steaks, round steaks that I've cut and made. I have got a number of these here, down under here. I got some frost falling in there. But here I've got several pounds left. This is what's left after last season. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pounds there, plus about another 1, 2, 4, 6, probably another 30 pounds up here of ground venison. Okay, this is just venison that has been run through the meat grinder. There you go. I can use it for many different recipes. Here's the last of my elk. I've probably got several, these are shoulder cuts left. I've got enough for a few more meals. And then you're going to see that I do have some fish. Usually, the fish that I have is fish that I caught, but you know, it's been a long winter. Ice fishing wasn't that great for me this year because I didn't go at all. And that being said, I was unable to get any fish. So I have had to buy fish at the grocery store, and I have had to buy chicken at the grocery store. But these are very low-fat meats, very consistent with the Paleolithic diet. Don't get me wrong, on occasion I will go and get something like this, some sirloin steaks, because I can trim the remaining fat off of those and then make something easy, simple, delicious. For the good people out there who are concerned about the alkaline in my diet versus the acid intake, I'm going to point out what the vast majority of food I actually eat on the Paleolithic diet. Now, people think Paleolithic diet is a low-carb, high-fat diet. That's not at all what it is. It is a low-grain, high-protein diet with unlimited amounts of vegetables that you can eat. If you really wanted to analyze it, there is no limit to the amount of vegetables that you can eat. That being said, let me show you real quick what it is that I primarily eat on the paleo diet. Here I've got some organic onions. I've got red and yellow. I prefer the yellow onions when I cook food, and I prefer the red onions when I'm eating them raw, because the red onions have a really good it's not a sweet flavor, but it's kind of earthy. And yes, you see, a majority of the fruit we buy and vegetables are organic when we can get them. I've got bananas, I've got oranges, more bananas, apples, tomatoes, more apples, more tomatoes, more tomatoes. That's just the stuff that we have out here, okay? Now, yesterday these bowls were a lot more full because we had just gone shopping. Tomorrow we're going shopping again because at this time tomorrow these apples will be all gone. So will the bananas, so will the oranges, and the onions. We'll probably have to buy 1 or 2. In the refrigerator, I do not drink the milk. The organic milk is for my wife, the vegetarian, not vegan, and my children. There is a meal I cooked yesterday. It's just some elk stir fry. Yes, I did use yellow squash. I know, heaven forbid. Some mushrooms, some ginger, some garlic, and some, did I say onions already? There are red bell peppers, yellow bell peppers, green bell peppers. I did have broccoli. That's all been eaten. Okay, eggs. I do have, I'd say, per week, maybe 6 eggs. I know this is actually really bad junk food. Us Paleolithic folks are notorious for eating junk food, like cauliflower. Raw almonds. These are not organic, which means to me they don't taste as good. I do prefer the organic ones. These are raw, packed full of enzymes and nutrients. Really good for lowering your cholesterol. Great omega-3s. Look at this junk food here. Oh look, organic Italian salad mix. Yep, you got spinach, arugula, you've got all kinds of different greens and healthy foods in there. Mushrooms, yeah, there's pasta sauce and there's hummus. These are not on my diet. I do not eat them, but my kids and my wife like them. Mushrooms on my diet. Here we go. I've got some more chicken here for a meal that I'm cooking tomorrow. Oh, grapes. Let's see here. Brussels sprouts. One of my favorite things to eat, actually. Kiwis, carrots, onions. Over here we got some orange and yellow bell peppers. We got some lemons. We're all out of red bell peppers. They go pretty quickly in the house. And green bell peppers too. They pretty much fly off the shelf. So on average, you're looking at what I eat primarily through the day. Right there in the fridge is what I eat throughout the day for the most part. Okay, there's one more thing. We got in our small pantry here. There are some things that I can eat here. Most of it I can't. But I'm going to show you anyway because there is stuff in there that's really, really good for me. So this is inside of our little mini pantry. And like I said, a lot of this food in here I can't really eat. I mean, there's some spices in there that I can use. There is also like things like, we have organic raw honey, but as a diabetic I can't eat that. It is allowed in moderation in the Paleolithic diet, but since I'm diabetic, I cannot eat it. But what I can eat is this right here. It's low on the glycemic index. It is a very good sweetener. It's organic raw blue agave nectar. Now in the Paleolithic diet itself, agave nectar is not conducive to the Paleolithic lifestyle, the Paleolithic diet, because it is what they say is highly processed. Being that this is organic and raw, it is actually far less processed than the stuff that is not. So I really have no problem, and many of you viewers have seen me endorse this in other videos. I do use these in some recipes as well as some of the other canned tomato products, though I don't use canned very often. There's a whole concern about BPA. What I have here, this is actually a little embarrassing. I have bean sprouts in a can, and why this is embarrassing is because who buys canned sprouts? The truth is, since I do a lot of cooking, sometimes I need sprouts in a pinch, and it's easy to grab them in a can, as well as the water chestnuts like for stir fry. Also what I have in here is I have a few cans of the chicken breast with rib meat. Here at the house we jokingly call it chickafish. You're going to find a lot of, we got beans in here, legumes of different kinds. My wife, she eats those as a vegetarian. This is where she gets her protein from. This is not conducive to the Paleolithic lifestyle. Ketchup also not conducive to the Paleolithic lifestyle. Oatmeal not. But you know what though? We've got we're a family of 6 and not everybody is forced to live on my dietary standards, nor is everyone in this family forced to live by my wife's dietary standards. Many of you might be surprised to see what I have on top of my refrigerator. That is our sprout baskets, our sprout beds. We grow a lot of sprouts and we love them. They're packed full of nutrients. They're a superfood. They've got macro and micronutrients, full of vitamins. They're excellent. Hence my embarrassment for the sprouts in a can. But those are good to have in a pinch when you're cooking something and you haven't had time to grow sprouts 2 days in advance. Because frankly, when we grow the sprouts, they're gone as soon as they sprout. So I say to all of you who call into question whether or not I'm truly Paleolithic in my diet, I would say, before you judge me, actually find out what I'm doing. Because I guarantee you, with the fruits, the vegetables, and the meats that I'm eating, that is very Paleolithic in style. I look forward to your comments. I look forward to interaction with you. Many of you have been great, very supportive, and I really appreciate it. My email address is the same as my YouTube channel handle up here, diabeticdaddy76@gmail.com. So until next time, this is Diabetic Daddy 76 saying, have a good night and stay healthy.